So strings is the most basic data type that any database needs to support. We set a value as a string. We can put strings in the list. We can do a lot of operations on string in Redis, right? So how does Redis store strings? So let me start with writing a simple set command in which I'm doing set k a. So which means I'm setting the key k with value a. Now if I check the object encoding of that, debug object k, we get something called as embstr. Embstr is the embedded string, right? So if I do set k to a very large value, very large, we'll come to this, that what's the limit over here. If I set to a very large value, if I do debug object, I get raw. And if I do set k to 10, I get encoding as int. So which means that depending on what we are storing, how long it is doing something around this and deciding the encoding of it, right? So let's quickly take a look at the source code and see what is happening behind the string. So here we start with, because we are playing with set command, let us start, our starting point should be the set command that we have. So if I do set command, if I look for that, I'll find something interesting. So in the t underscore string file, which is the type string file, you can find the implementation of the set command. It got the object and does something. One thing that we are interested in is try object encoding. And then there is this set generic command. So what is this try object encoding? Because it is changing the encoding. So this is the function that needs to have something. So if I go through this function, what it is doing, it is first setting this value like long, it is declaring this long value. SDS of s equal to o arrow ptr. Here it is getting, so SDS is the simple dynamic string type that we're talking. It's like the way Redis implements string. It does not use native string, but it uses SDS, which is much more optimized. Then size t is length. Then here we see something happening. So len of SDS, len of s, which means whatever the length of the input is, let us evaluate what that it is. If the length is less than 20, and string to L means string to, it converts string to long. If it is possible to convert string to long, then we do something, which means here this if would execute if the value that I've given is a long value, it's an integer value, right? So if I leave this if we come to the else part, here we see we are setting object encoding to int. So if it is integerable, like if I may put it, it is setting the encoding as int and setting the pointer to value. So the value, in the Redis object, when we have the pointer, it points to something. This is where it is pointing to the value that we are setting in over here. So value was declared over here. You would say, but where did the user set, like where did the code set it? It's set over here. It is passed by reference, and this string to length, string to long is actually updating it here in this point. It is not returning it, but rather it is updating it on that same location. So these are integers are stored there. Now there is another thing, which is if it is here, if len is less than object encoded embstr size limit. So this is what the size limit we are talking about. So when I did set ka, it took encoding as embstr, and then when I did a very long string, it went beyond that and it used raw there. So if my length is less than equal to the limit that I have, if it is less than the limit that I have, I can create an embedded string object over here. Otherwise, I create a general string object. So, which is a raw. So, whatever bytes we are given, we are simply storing it. So, it's not a string. It's just a normal set of bytes that we are storing in the array. Right? So, this is where the changes are happening. So, now let's see this in action. How exactly Redis stores strings efficiently. Okay, so we'll start with the normal theory part where we take a look at how it is actually doing it. So strings in Redis are implemented using SDS, which is called simple dynamic string. And why do they have to write their own implementation? Because number one, recall when you would want to compute the length of the string, you used to literally iterate byte by byte until you hit /0, and then you would do count ++, and that was the length that you had. So you don't want to do that, because computing the length again and again, you would do complete iteration again and again. That's very slow. You don't want to do that. Then appends are efficient. When we write our own implementation, we can do it because we can allocate a larger chunk of memory and then append. That would be much efficient versus doing something else. Third, our implementation would be binary safe. So what do we mean by binary safe? It means that if you use a general string, the string ends when you see a null character. Sorry, when you see a null character. So what if my binary object that I'm trying to store holds the null character? It would terminate at that point unnecessarily. So we want to keep things binary safe, which is why we are writing our own, or rather Redis wrote their own implementation called simple dynamic string. So here Redis has 5 types of layout. Just like any other type, it has layouts. Now, first layout is SDS HDR5. HDR is header. So simple dynamic string header 5, simple dynamic string header 8, and there are other like simple dynamic string header 16, 32 and 61. You could have very clearly guessed what this is all about, but still there is one very interesting optimization that I would want to talk about here. So if I go back to the source code again and I check for the header in sds.h, if I come to this file, here you see the headers defined. SDS HDR5, SDS HDR8, SDS HDR16 and so on and so forth. So here you see that if I'm creating a small string, 5 bits are enough. So which is where what you do is you have 2 attributes in this structure. First one is unsigned char flags. Char means 8 bits and unsigned char flags, it means it would be storing something information about encoding of my string and which type have I chosen and whatnot. So what it does is it uses the 3 least significant bits for type, as in what type of string it is or what kind of information that we are storing, and 5 most significant bits for the string length. And now because of this 5 most significant bit, it is called SDS HDR5, right? So which means that because it is 5 bits, the maximum length that we can go for is 2⁵, which is 32. Right? So that is where it would be capping at. So if your strings are small, you can use SDS HDR. Otherwise, you can go for SDS HDR8, in which you have an explicit field for length, you have explicit field for allocation and flags and then buffer. So now length is used to store the length of the string. So when you are computing SDS len or you want to compute the length of the string, you can directly use this variable. You will get it in order 1 because it's keeping track of the length of the string. Then alloc, it means that you may allocate a large chunk of memory. Out of that, you're using just a small one for string. So allocation would be the total size that you have allocated for it. Flags would be last 3 bytes for type and 5 unused bits there. And then this is what I'd want to highlight is char buff. Char buff blank array. Keep this in mind. This is a great place to save space, right? Okay. Let me jump to the part of theory where we were taking a look at what was happening behind the scenes. Okay. So we spoke about the SDS HDR5, SDS HDR8 and whatnot, right? So here the significance of this char buff blank array, the significance of this is it does not occupy any space. You would have thought that, hey, if I'm storing a string, let me just use a char star, whatever string size is there, I'll use that. Remember, char star is a pointer. It would require bytes to use, like it would take up some bytes in the structure. But when you use char buff blank array, it does not hold anything. It just, whatever you allocate, it just uses the last part of it as buffer array, right? So that's the beauty of this. So when you do, this is not occupying any space at all, but you can store as much because it would be interpreting that much as a buffer array, which is where you would be storing the string into. That's a very, very, very interesting and important optimization because this would lead to a lot of critical decisions. Okay. So here what we know is we can store all kinds of data in SDS, the simple dynamic string, because it has nothing to do with anything. It just stores bytes over there, right? So the 3 encodings that it supports is raw, EMBSTR and int. Let's take a look at what EMBSTR and raw are. So EMBSTR is embedded string, is a string whose length is less than equal to 44 bytes. So when we did set KA, at that point of time it used the encoding EMBSTR, and when it used that particular encoding, what it did is it did some different kind of optimization. And then when we added a prolonged string, a large number of A's, it used raw. So the golden rule over here is if the length of the string is less than equal to 44 characters, it uses EMBSTR. Now you would have guessed by the name embedded, it means it has to do something with embedding it into some place. Otherwise it would be malloc. That's exactly what it is about. So remember the Redis object structure that we had? A Redis object structure has 4 bits of type, 4 bits of encoding, 24 bits of LRU, right? So in all, these are 4 bytes. Then a reference counter. Reference counter is integer, which means 4 byte. A void star pointer is 8 byte, right? So now if you sum this up, so this is 4 plus 8, 12 plus 4, 16 bytes, right? Then because we are storing string, we would be storing an SDS header. Now SDS header would be how much? It would be how big? SDS header, if you talk about 8, SDS header 8, it would have a uint 8 length, uint 8 alloc, which means 8 bits over here, 8 bits over here, so 1 byte, 1 byte. Then unsigned char flag is 1 byte. So this is 3. So this was 16 plus 3. Now remember, char buff does not take up any space. So 16, so 64 minus 16 minus 3 is 45. The embedded string limit is 44, which means a string length is 44 plus 1 for null character, which would place your string right there and then over here without you needing to do anything else. So for short strings, it does not have to do malloc for another thing. It can put it at the same Redis object directly. Right? So this is why the embedded string length is 44. Right? And because this is 64, now you'd say, why are you structuring it 64 bytes? Because the way Redis does memory management, the least amount of memory that it allocates is 64 bytes for anything. So this is where it is leveraging it, that hey, because I'm anyway allocating 64 bytes, let me just use embedded string for that and use the extra space that I have to do something with this. Right? Okay. So this is how embedded and raw are stored. Now raw would be storing a pointer rather than storing it within that object. Right? Then embedded done, raw done. The third one is integer encoding. Now integer encoding is if string is representable as integer, then it converts and holds it into pointer. We just took a look where we took string to L and we passed in that thing. So if it was convertible, then we set the encoding to int and then we changed it, right? And then we basically used it, changed the encoding of it to integer, right? That same thing we are talking about. So if it's an integer, it's still stored into the Redis object, but there it is stored into void pointer. This void pointer here, and it's basically typecasted the value and all, and it is stored over there. Right? And what we did in first few videos, when we re-implemented this, like 6th or 7th video, when we implemented this, we implemented integer and we always serialized it into the string and persisted it rather than storing it in pointer. Right? That was one thing that we missed. So what I've done is I've created a GitHub issue on that. I would also put that link in the description down below. If you're interested to implement the fix, or if you still see the issue open, I would highly encourage you to fix it. It's a very small fix, but you would have contributed to this DICE DB, right? So do check that out. Very simple implementation, but this would give you a way to think about it and basically make changes to the actual database, right? Okay. Then the final thing about raw encoding. Now this is what makes Redis very extra special, because now here we are not limiting to anything. We can literally store a set of bytes in this. It does not care if it's a string or not, because it's binary safe. It does not have to terminate with /0, right? So in raw, you can store literally any range of bytes within that. So you can use it to store large string. You can use it to store anything. For example, if you want to store Bloom filter within that, hyperlog within that, you want to serialize and store sets and list and whatnot, you can do that. You can write your own implementation that uses that to allocate it. And that's why you would see throughout the Redis source code, you'll see a lot of instances of SDS, because everything that gets allocated as a raw bytes, if you want to allocate, it all happens through SDS. Right? You'll see a ton of places where you see SDS referred in the entire Redis code base. Right? So yeah, this is how Redis implements string. Here you see how typical design choices that they made, where they started storing the length of the string. This way we made string length access lightning fast. We are writing our own implementation because we wanted, or rather Redis wrote their own implementation because they wanted appends to be efficient, which we'll get. We want to access string length in order 1, which we are doing, and we want binary safe so that we can store any kind of data within that. So if you would want to write Bloom filters for Redis, there is a community plugin for that. If you want to like hyperlog All of that is pretty much doable because you can just dump a gigantic byte array and do whatever you want to do with that. And that's the beauty of writing generic, like supporting raw type, in which you are literally storing literally anything, right? So yeah, that is all about Redis strings internal. I would highly encourage you to go through the source code. The file is sds.c and sds.h. You will see a ton of implementations of common string functions there and a lot of optimizations throughout, right? And again, I've created a GitHub issue where you can use integer encoding and change, and instead of doing strconv every time, we would want to store it as a pointer reference, right? So that we don't do serialization, deserialization again and again. So if you find that as an open issue, I would highly encourage you to go and contribute back to this, right? But nonetheless, I hope you found it interesting. I hope you found it amazing. You see how it opens up door for so many things, right? So yeah, that is it for this one. I'll see you in the next one. Thanks a ton.